Good day, viewers around the world. You're welcome to this beautiful Wednesday morning here in Milan. Godwin Iwejuwa is here with you, and you are welcome to our News Echoes Global Africa. Today, the 7th of February, 2024. We normally give our updates, and we do it with our coordinators and brothers, sisters from all parts of the world. So, in faraway Toronto, Canada, is our massive man, George Chukwu. Sir George Chukwu, you're welcome.
Good morning, Mike Godwin, and good morning from viewers from around the world. We want to welcome you to our show today. It's going to be a great one.
Yes, Sir George. Sir George, it's still cold in Milan. How is it in Toronto?
Well, it's mildly cold here, not as supposed to be. So we are above, the seasonal weather conditions. So we're enjoying it.
We're enjoying it. I trust you. Now, one place the weather is stable, sweet at all time is Lagos. And we have Bidi Nana coming from Lagos. Bidi, how are you this morning? How's the weather? And it's good to see you.
Good morning, Massive Max. Sir George, good morning. Our viewers all around the world. Thanks for joining us again today. Weather is okay. It's a bit cool here in Nigeria. During the Christmas period, we didn't experience Harmattan. It's like we're experiencing it here now. So the hotness has stopped. I love it here now.
You love it here now. Gentlemen, the family is expanding, and maybe somebody loves the weather again in Lagos because somebody's from Lagos again. So the family is expanding. We have Olayinka Raji from Lagos also coming into the studio. Olayinka Raji, you're welcome, sir, to News Echoes Wednesday morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to hearers.
George. That's George.
That's Billy. I'm in Lagos, and like Miss Billy just said, the temperature is cool. We seem to be having a late Harmattan season. It's cool by me. Yes.
Welcome, Raji. Raji, it's good to have you on this program where we give our views on various issues as it affects us, Nigerians all over the world. So, gentlemen, let's go straight to it, George. Yesterday, we all saw our president come back from France. That's President Tinubu. We saw the video of him stepping down from the plane and meeting up with some senior men in the government, like George Akume, the secretary to the government, like Nuhu Rabidu, the National Secretary Advisor, like Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and also his Chief of Staff, Femi. Now, the president spent about 13 days in Paris on what was termed private visits. And while they are in Paris also, he had visitors too from Nigeria. I mean, his ministers also went to visit him. Now, guys, how do you feel? Our president is back, but he's back in the midst of a lot of situation, security, high cost of living, protests, ASU strikes, and all these things. George, how do you see this whole thing playing out now?
Number one, when you want to talk about the president's private visit, constitutionally, yes, indeed, he's supposed to have a level of privacy, but he belongs to the people. I believe that the reason why it's termed private is because it's medical, and they naturally don't want the world to know exactly what has been going on in regards to the health of our president. And this is exactly what happened with the former APC president, which is Buhari, who spent majority part of his office time in the hospital. So, and what I don't understand is, okay, he's taking a private visit, and then ministers are spending money to go there and visit him. I just don't see what that have how is that helping the nation per se. The fire is on the house, and the people are worrying whether the president, is he well or is he not well, or people are dying, people are protesting over the economic condition of Nigeria. To be honestly speaking, it appears that the government, of Nigeria is just is not taking a concrete action, to address the food shortages. They're beating around the bush, trying to find something that will work. If they know deliberately what to do, they can actually start letting people know that these are the steps we are taking. But all we have heard is discussion upon discussion, deliberation upon deliberation. People are suffering, they need help. And we are here pontificating over whether the president is traveling on a private visit or not. And then when they start protesting, the government will come out and start talking nonsense. That is the opposition. People are dying daily in Nigeria. They are suffering, Tinubu. So you and your government ought to take things seriously and know exactly what to do and put the right people in the position, because what we are seeing right now, the right people are not there. If the right people are there, concrete action would have been taken right now to address, the sufferings of the dilapidation of our naira and all those type of things. All we're doing is seeing, oh, we're going here, we're going there, with promises with no particular effect on the problem that is going on. It's all bandages. That's all I see. I'm sorry.
All bandages. George, this one is really hot. Let me come to the lady, then we'll come to Raji. BD, the information is that this is Tinubu's third trip to that country, France, Paris. Third trip to France, and his 14th foreign trip since he assumed office 8 months ago. What will you say? The same thing playing out with the former president Buhari, spending more time outside, and we really don't see what those impacts brings to the country. BD, what's your take on this trip?
My take is a normal thing. What were we expecting? Are we expecting magic to happen? When we accepted a man, and Tinubu is not strong. Let me use that word. Let me not use the man word sickness. He's not sick. He's not strong. He's a weak man. When we accepted a weak man to be our president, so we should be ready to face this kind of a thing repeatedly. But it's so unfortunately that a whole president of a country will live for 13 days. And what they are telling us is that he went for a personal trip. When you decide to come and serve the public, your affairs become public. You shouldn't be hiding anything. This was exactly the same thing Buhari did. And Tinubu is even doing more. Look at King Charles. He had challenges. He made it open. Even when he would be going in for the treatment, was announced. He went there and they discovered he had cancer. Everything was in the open. But here, everything we do here is secrecy. And not just that, like Sir George said, see what is going on in Nigeria. People are dying. And when I mean people are dying, I'm not speaking in parable. I'm telling you the real truth situation in Nigeria. People are dying because of hunger. Do you understand? And you're there, and your people are going to visit you. You even went with some people. There's hunger in the country, and they keep traveling to France on a daily basis to pay him a visit. And things are going wrong in Nigeria. Within these 13 days that Tinubu have been out of country, do you know what has gone wrong? Thank God, like I said yesterday, thank God he's back. Let's see if there can be a change. But in fact, if not that I'm a media person, I'm tired of talking on this, because we saw it with Buhari. We saw it with APC 8 years in the office, and we still retain them. So we shouldn't be complaining. We have it here, and we will continue with it.
A point of correction, by the way, you did not retain them. They retained themselves. So sorry, don't say that we retained them. They were forced on you, pushed on you, backed you against the wall, and shoved it over your throat. So we did not retain them. They retained themselves. Thank you.
They retain themselves. Raji, Tinubu returned in the midst of rising crisis of kidnapping. You all know what is happening. As we're talking now, about 55 of our ladies from Katsina State are now being under where we don't know. He returned also with a weakening local currency. He returned also with student protesting, ASUs on strike as we talk. Raji, I know you're following things, situations in Nigeria. What's your views on with this whole thing? What's your take?
Thank you very much, Massive Mark. Let me start by saying that we live in very interesting times. And it is very interesting for me to note that most Nigerians do not understand that you have a culture, you have built a culture and a tradition. Completely different from the situation in the UK, for instance, where there's always sort of open governance with whatever is happening with the people in authority.
Okay.
Which is what came with the
Yes. Sorry, Raji. You're saying
Okay.
something very important to hear. Can you increase? Is there any way you can increase your volume so people can hear you well? The viewers are here and they want to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Can you? Is there a way?
Sorry about it. I hope my mic is good enough. Can you hear me well now?
Yes, we can hear you, but it's
not as loud.
You're not audible. It's faint. You're speaking faint.
Okay. Is there anything?
Maybe my mic?
Maybe the mic, yes.
Yeah. I brought the mic closer to my mouth now.
Yeah,
okay.
Continue.
Okay, continue. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead, Raj.
Yes. You see, with the case of King Charles, the UK has a culture of making open whatever is happening to the people in authority. It is completely different with Nigeria because we don't have that tradition. We don't have that tradition. In fact, government is so shrouded in secrecy as to make it very, very, it's a mystery to most people. About Tinubu's private visit, like Ms. Bidi said, the moment you are in government, you are now a public thing. If you don't want everything concerning you to be open to the public, please don't come for public positions. Don't stand for elections. Don't become a public person. If you don't want every inch of every item of your life to be open to the public, don't come into public affairs. Therefore, it is very unfair for the people to be told that their president went on a 14-day, 15-day private visit while he's still in office. Since he came into office, he has been in and out more than 5 times.
14.
3 times to France, 14 times in general outside the country.
Which is very, very unfair. And who bears the cost of all these trips? In the American system, the president cannot go on a private visit with public funds. But we have a completely different situation here. That is aside. The second part is what was mentioned about APC forcing themselves in. I think we should come over all these things, we put it behind us. Elections had happened. A president has emerged. Let us accept the president and let us forget about all the politics of that time. Let us take the president now as belonging to the whole country, not an APC. That way, we'll be able to please perhaps contribute better for the running of this country. I voted Tinubu, and I don't make any bones about it. But I've not been laid back in my criticism of the certain steps that he has taken. Steps that he has taken. Yesterday there was something about the country was on the way to economic doom before Tinubu came in. I said yes, the country was actually approaching a cliff before Tinubu came in. But what did he do when he came in? He just drove us straight onto the road to perdition. Instead of calming down, looking at the situation, and probably making a U-turn if he wasn't going to drive us into perdition, which is the point I've made. And
thank you, Raji.
Yes.
Thank you, Raji. Good points you're making. Before we go further, let's bring in our man, Better Niger. Femi Oke is with us. Femi,
Sorry I'm late,
you're
guys.
welcome. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's good to see you. This morning,
Thank you.
Wednesday, News Echo Global Africa, and I think it's balanced this way to have you here, Femi. The president is back. The president is back from his private visit, and the president is back to see so many commotion happening out in the country, kidnapping. As we talk, like we all said yesterday, 55 women, ladies are now in the camp of the bandits. The president is back also at a time when there's high cost of living, and the president is back when there are protests going on everywhere. Femi, he's your president. He's my president. What will you say about all this?
Well, nothing changed since when he left before, so he's just coming back to do more of the same. And he was in France, where there were protests on the street of France by farmers about the cost of living crisis. So it's no different. Wherever you go in the world, crisis is everywhere. There's no exception. The problem is Nigeria's problem is one that has been born out of historic bad management of our resources, of our currency, and subsidies and so on and so forth. So, and also the way we mismanage governance. Nigerians always say that it is the role of the federal government to secure lives and property. Meanwhile, they forget the role of state governments. Agriculture is on the concurrent list, is not on the exclusive list. So therefore, the need to feed people with affordable food and ameliorate the cost of a living crisis and affordable food is down to the states. I think it's nonsense where Nigerians start to blame the president of Nigeria in Abuja for problems of Aleko or in Otoko, wherever you might be in Nigeria. It's ridiculous. How can the president come and deal with your the corn and the cassava that you're dealing in your states? People refuse to look, and the opposition and media people focus on the presidency, meanwhile allowing the state governors to have a blight. What are they doing to key into the president's agricultural state of emergency? Land is invested in the control of state governors. How much land have they brought out for increased agriculture? How many tractors have they purchased for more mechanized farming? How many pesticides have they given? How much fertilizer? How many dams have they created? How many water reservoirs have they done? How many water irrigation plants have they put together for farming? How many roads have they built to enable the transport of food from the rural areas into the urban areas where the demand is highest? They've not done nothing. They've collected massive amounts of increased allocation from the FARC because of removal of subsidies, and they're giving it away as palliatives, or some, that's those that are given, and others are not even given at all. So therefore, when you teach a man how to fish, instead of giving him fish, you will see that he will be able to generate income and create a living for himself. But what we're doing in Nigeria is just pathetic, to be honest with you. And focusing on the presidency, to me, is just ridiculous.
Unfortunately, I beg to disagree with you, Mr. Femi. Okay,
as you always
number
do.
one, uneasy is the head that wears the crown. If everything is going fine today, you would have seen the president shouting and even said that he deserves a Guinness Book of Record for whatever. The point is this: he is our president. The way he got in there, yeah, that's questionable, but he's our president. He's the executive president. The decisions that he is making currently in a lot of things are part of what is really, he came in, he started it from the left side. I don't think it was intentional when he announced the fuel subsidy that pushed us into all of this. But currently, what we are seeing in the Nigeria is actually the insecurity that is driving a lot of farmers home. In the middle belt is where our food mostly comes from, but it's not conducive for them to farm because they're being killed every day. We see them systematically being erased away from their land. And and then Tinubu, he comes back and he's mandating the military and the security agencies, to tighten their belt. Yes, it is a good thing to do, but it seems like the more they talk, the worse it gets. So I'm with you when it comes to, the state taking their own responsibility. But yet it is the federal government who will be overseeing the state and ensure that they are not mismanaging the resources that are being given to them. So in
We're not,
essence, really, the
But
point is this, you know what, to make a long story short, the problem is we started with APC government. It went down the drain from there. The reason, not because of APC government, because of the former president of Nigeria. He did not know his left from his right when it comes to government. He didn't know what to do to keep the, whatever that he had to continue going. So that is my own affirmation. But right now, I am hoping that Tinubu will do better. And I am also giving him time because I know what he inherited. He inherited nothing but trash. And he's trying to put it together. And I'm praying that it's not going to be all pontification and, sitting down and everybody trying to mediate and talk and all those type of things. We need action. We need action in the middle belt where we're getting our agricultural products, from. We need security in those places. We need it. So you cannot tell me, oh, what are the states doing? The police is federal. The military is federal. So what do we do? What are you going to do with them? Are they going to form their own local policing thing right now that a lot of places are
Let me
doing?
just
So that's
talk.
the
Let me
question.
retort quickly, just to say we have 36 states and the FCT. The idea that all our food comes from Benue or Plateau is just not real. We're not telling ourselves the truth. Food comes from every single state of the nation. 2 or 3 local governments will not deprive the whole of Nigeria of food. This is ridiculous. And of course, the president is responsible for security. Okay, but at the end of the day, as you've rightly said, state governors have more responsibility. If food is not coming from Benue, it can come from any other state, Taraba, Adamawa, Bayelsa, Ogun State, Osun State, and so on and so forth. What are they doing? They're not doing nothing. So at the end of the
It's
day,
not
for
true.
me,
Femi, I beg to disagree to that statement.
okay, no problem.
I beg
All
to
right.
disagree to that statement. You see, the truth is that most times we don't want to tell ourselves this truth. The problem we are facing in Nigeria today is as a result of what we neglected 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And what was that? It was farmers' headers clash. It was too much in this country. People are going far as Benue and where in this Ogun State. I have a friend. We had a land here in this Ogun State, 6 plots of land. We invested. We even borrowed. Do you understand? We keep having problem with headers. They killed one person. We were still managing it. But when they killed 2 people, we abandoned everything and ran. Same thing with other people from other states. It's not just that. And when this thing was happening, we were treating it with this glove. Look at what it has brought us today. A lot of people cannot farm. People in the rural area depend on the urban area to get and buy their food because they can't go to their farm. They go there, they have herdsmen to contend with. And the state governments don't have right to arrest a herdsman. They don't have right to send herdsmen out of their state. It's still the federal thing. So we will always call federal until they disintegrate powers to the state government. Then you can say this and I will agree with you. But as of now, it's still every power lies on federal government and they're not managing it well. And that's why everybody's calling on them.
And another thing that I wanted to add is this. There are so many products that are coming from the north.
okay.
Like onions and peanuts and all those type of things. Predominantly, they come from the north. And even the dry fish that we eat, the same thing. Do you know that the people in the southeast, south, and southwest, most of them are being deprived of the logistics of moving those products from the north all the way down to the south and the southeast and southwest? They are being deprived because why? Insecurity, the same thing. So what we're saying is, if you want to invite countries to come or companies to come into Nigeria to do business, first and foremost, give them security, give them light, give them good logistics to move their products around. These are the things that we are suffering. We know that these are the fundamentals. We've neglected it, like Biddy said, in the past. But right now, even the food that are being produced in the north, to move it to the south, is become a very dire situation. I am telling you, and the people are crying every day from those areas, because things they used to easily buy, they cannot even buy anymore. And when you find them, the prices are 4 times the amount. So these are little foxes that can destroy the whole vine in
Let
our
me give
country.
a practical example. Because of the program I do every Christmas, I went to my 12 because I lived in North to buy tomato. And when I got there, they told me that a basket of tomato is 55,000 naira. And that same basket of tomatoes, I know they buy it 15,000, 18,000 in just where my auntie stayed. You know, I start asking them, I start speaking, say, transport, that's to bring it from North to here. That is what, you understand? And you won't blame them if they tell you what they spend in transportation, not only in transportation, all these custom, all these police officers on the road, they keep settling them. That is same, that's corruption, because we don't have regulators. We don't regulate things. That is what has brought us here. Now, today in Nigeria, if you go and buy salt, if you go and buy vegetable, if you see vegetable of 500 naira in Nigeria, it will not cook you anything. You ask them, they say dollar. I was asking them, what does dollar have to do with this? Do you understand? You buy pineapple on the street, they tell you dollar. I'm getting crazy. I was like, dollar does not have anything to this, but everybody is inflating their prices. It still boils down
And
to
the people
federal government.
the people are suffering for it.
That's it.
So yes, the decision at the top, the federal matters, and like one governor was saying, we're coming to that topic later. Governor Makinde of your state, our constitution needs to be rearranged. A lot of things are still being held at the top, Femi. Femi, you know this. The federal still controls everything. The federal has a power over virtually everything. Electricity. I just found out that you can't even generate your state electricity because
That law has changed. That law has changed. That law has been changed. Go and check it.
Makinde was saying it two
The
days ago.
law has been changed. The law has been changed.
But Makinde was still saying that the constitution needs to be changed. So, gentlemen, listen, you all sound very passionate about this whole topic, and it shows how passionate you are also as a nation builder. So, the topic is still on. We're still going to talk about insecurity because our president, through his vice, Kashim Shettima, spoke directly to the security arms of Nigeria, the military and all of them, and he told them, listen, you guys need to step up your game. And I'm with the presidency on this one because, like we said last time on this program, Nigeria has all it takes to fight terrorists. We have all it takes. In fact, I just found out that we added more to our armory. We added more to our warplane and everything. So we're coming to this, gentlemen. Let's go on this small break. We'll make the break very short so you can all say put out your views. Very interesting topic. So viewers, this is it. News Echo, Wednesday morning here in Milan. And I'm with Femi Oke from London, George from Toronto, and BD from Lagos, Nigeria. We'll be right back. Short break. Thank you.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes unity.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
You are welcome. Welcome back to our program, weekly program, every Wednesday, 11 o'clock Nigerian time. SSM News Echoes Global Wednesday program is, we call it Wednesday, we call Global Africa. And I'm here with George from Toronto. I'm here with Femi from London. I'm here with BD from Lagos. I'm also here with Raji, making his inaugural appearance with us. Raji, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Raji is a true statesman.
Yeah, true statesman. Everybody here, viewers, listen, everybody here is passionate about Nigeria. And that's why we are what we are, like the advert says. It's a beautiful country, diverse views, yes, but we're still one. Southeast, southwest, south-south, south-north, east-north, all of this part of the region of Nigeria makes these great people called Nigerians. So, gentlemen, let's come back again. Our president said, you guys step up your game, the military, the security agency, and I think that's a call to action, because of the truth, the country has regenerated into chaos. I mean, as we're talking, like I said earlier, some ladies were going to a wedding. You all know the story. They were going to a wedding and they were kidnapped, 55 of them. And as yesterday evening, the bandit says, these whole ladies will now become our wives. Femi, okay, let me start with you. How do you feel? Is Nigerian security are they living up to what they should do?
Look, I always find it disturbing when we think that security is like, you can perform magic. You can't perform magic, all right? The police cannot be, I mean, the primary responsibility for security, actually internal security, is the police. We don't have enough police, that's one. They're not equipped. They're not spread over enough. They're not even trained properly enough. So at the end of the day, you expect miracles. This is unbelievable. It's not possible. Now, obviously, it's not even a laughable matter.
I'm agreeing with you.
Look, I've asked people the question. I've said to people, do you want the state of lawlessness that we have now, or do we actually need to move to a kind of police state where the police are everywhere, you know, on practically every street corner, everywhere? That's when you'll now have proper security. But do we have the financial resources and the willpower, you know, the political will and the support? You talk about restructuring from everybody to allow that to happen. Look, here in the UK, for example, every road is identified. Every street corner, every road has street lights. Every day I see the postman on the street. Every day I see the people clearing the rubbish. I see people sweeping the floor. You understand? So there's so many eyes of government officials on what is happening. Neighborhood watch. You understand? So many people are doing so many things so that it improves security. You've got security cameras everywhere. We talked about electricity is not there. Security cameras need to be everywhere. CCTV. In fact, we've gone into the world of CCTV. You can't even have that in Nigeria because where's the power? You understand? So they all these things are imported. You know, all the CCTV equipment and everything that you want is imported. Where is the dollar? You already talked about BD saying that when she wants to buy vegetables, they're talking about dollar. So you can see the problem and the conundrum that we have in Nigeria. Then people are then saying the government should control the value of the naira at the value of the naira. It's not possible. You understand? So at the end of the day, we need to face reality and what's happening, that there's certain people, I said this last week, certain Nigerians like to kill themselves. It's just inevitable. Wherever you go, they're going to do something. Next week, I'm showing you there's going to be another incident that you're going to come and tell me, oh, these people have been killed. I mean, the week before, it was 2 Obas, isn't it? And then the Oba in Kwara. This week, another one. Next week, there'll be another one. Is it the government that's doing that, or are they individuals? This is criminality. It's down to criminality, and we should address it as criminality, not unpoliticize the issue. Criminality is wrong, and everybody needs to address it.
Yeah, not politicizing it. Let me put this to Raji. Raji, back in the days, Nigeria had done a lot in maintaining peace and security in many countries. We were peacekeepers in Gambia, Guinea-Conakry, Mozambique, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Mali, Cameroon. And the world knew that Nigeria was good at doing this. In fact, at a point, United Nations and even the EU were partnering with Nigeria on this peacekeeping mission. But what is happening? We can't keep our own peace internally. Raji, what's happening?
I think we'll have to do a little of historical analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you will see that during the Buhari's time, please, is my mic okay now? During Buhari's time, when banditry actually started, there were pictures of, especially the governor of Katsina State, doing a photo shoot with bandits, armed bandits. And it was shown on what the hell is a governor doing with bandits, meeting with bandits. There were cases where a particular person, Gumi, was negotiating ransom publicly with bandits. Now, there's also another historical perspective to this. When the Fulani Jihad started, overtaking most of Hausa states, they came with their own bandits. Wherever they could not overcome the Hausa people, they unleashed on them their bandits. It is historical. It is the same thing that is happening now. When you look at the whole analysis of the whole places, wherever the Fulani were not able to overcome the traditional Muslim Hausa people, the same areas are still being overshadowed by bandits. The whole of most of Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, all those states where you now see bandits operating are traditional areas where the Fulani people brought their own bandits to keep the local people at bay. So it is historical. Now coming to the police, there was a time when in every village, there was a police communication system to the center. Every village you went to, but when the military came in, they destabilized the whole thing. They disrupted the whole and took over the whole communication. Therefore, we cannot even do local government policing as it is today. The police has been completely emasculated. And as Mr. Oke mentioned, it is the responsibility of the police for internal security. And the way we are going now in this country, we are actually neutralizing the security, the internal security and it is dangerous. In that, we now see a lot of military presence, internal military presence. When the military is unleashed for internal security, because of their training to see any opposition as an enemy of the state, the people become the enemy of the state. It is high time for us to disband, to effectively abrogate the presence of too much military in our internal security, and give please give more power and more training to the police to fulfill their internal security mandate.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
George, then we'll come to BD. George, what's your take on this? You were laughing when Femi started.
No, because
I know.
it's so funny that no, he was actually discussing the issues that we have with the police force in Nigeria, which also people have decried this for so long that we need to change the structure. We need to give create state police, not just federal police, because they are unable, based on the way things are right now, to handle the whole situation. So I was laughing because he was mentioning all the problems, which actually, if he could be attacked directly, will become a solution to the entire country. So when he was mentioning that, I started laughing. So, but anyway, the point we have right now in our country is that we have really degenerated to the point where it's become a chaotic situation all around. Now, we know the origin of this banditry, and we know that the people on top, we are the orchestrators and the originators of it. So now it's almost like, you have a little robot that goes around with you. You tell the robot what to do, how to handle things. All of a sudden it takes over. Now it's controlling your life. That is the story in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. If you want to tell ourselves the truth, we know where that banditry came from. Every time I keep on, making this joke. Now you only waka come. That is where it all originated from, because there was an intelligence that was saying to the presidency that these things are being done by the top, not officials in the north. They are the ones that are making the country ungovernable. So now we need to nip this thing in the bud and go to the root cause and begin to change it. We have the capability. Let's retrain our police officers. Let's bring more police officers. Let the three arms of the government, who is literally, what I call political fat cats, giving themselves raises every day, but caring nothing about the whole entire population of Nigerians. Let them reduce what they are taking in, the cost of governance, use it to increase the number of these young people that are going around with no jobs, train them in the police force. Let them go to the state.
That's it.
And they need to change the constitution. We're still living in the past of 1999 constitution, which was basically military ordained. So we don't need that anymore. We are in a democratic process.
We don't need that anymore, George. Thank you so much, George. You're saying exactly the same thoughts the president put out to the military. He says, change your mindset, change your strategies, change your tactics. BD, the president says they need to step up, and you're there on ground. You see some of these things happening. Most times it is the weaker vessels, the women, ladies, girls that are victims of this whole thing. With the president warned the 55 ladies that are now in the den of bandits. BD, what's your view on this?
Massive Mike, if you want to tell ourselves this truth, the amount of money that has pumped into Nigerian security sector and still pumping. When President Tinubu assumed office, I know what he gave to these people. He even gave them promotions, even gave the military, gave some of them oil, all this to appease them to work. But let me tell us, if we are telling ourselves this truth, what is happening in Nigeria can only stop when the federal government wants it to stop. Because we know this thing that is happening in Nigeria, the killings, the kidnapping, the federal government don't want it to stop. They know what they are benefiting from it. Now, let me tell you, these people keep kidnapping Nigerians and killing, asking for ransom. We did a survey last year, May, me and my colleague. We were at a place, we made a call, we made a post on social media. We removed that SIM card, removed that phone, kept it, and changed direction. It didn't take Nigerian police 2 hours to get us. And we told them what we did. They just wanted to test something. What am I saying is this. These people kidnap, they ask for ransom. Federal government was the other day saying that they've asked people not to pay ransom. But I remember during Buhari regime, they paid ransom. Federal government themselves paid a lot of ransoms. So you can't be paying ransom and telling people not to pay, and you can't protect them. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is this: if Nigerian government want to stop kidnapping today in Nigeria, they will stop it. They are not ready. They know the agreement they entered with whoever they entered with. They are not ready. They are not going after these people. They are not. See, there was a meeting held in Zamfara. Wait, there's a meeting held in Zamfara with Fulani herdsmen. Did you hear what they said? They said that the Hausas has that kidnapping and killing will not stop. And the Hausas have angered them a lot. And they are not stopping anytime soon. Was any arrest made for that? Was anybody taken for questioning? Nobody. So, see, they know the people who are doing this kidnapping. The governments know. And they don't want to do anything. We're just telling, even the security officers, the military, there are people they don't arrest. There are areas the military will go, or the police. There are people they don't arrest. You arrest them today, they'll release them tomorrow. So the federal government, it is their thing. If they want this thing to stop in Nigeria, it will stop. They are not ready. So let's. These are
mind-blowing. Femi, I'll give you 1 minute. I know you are shaking.
Look, the idea that there's a conspiracy to allow kidnapping to ferment, it's just, I just find I'm lost for words. There is no such conspiracy. Policemen have been found guilty, have been arrested for kidnapping. Soldiers have been found guilty and arrested for kidnapping. Local chiefs, we've had the Ekiti situation now. Everyone like you were probably calling it Fulani herdsmen when they actually found out that after investigation, it was a Yoruba man that was a kingpin in that area. So look, this narrative is, to me, I always say this, look, we must be careful of stereotyping and ring fencing the whole gambit of kidnapping and facing it to one tribe and to one people. This is laughable and it's ridiculous because you know what? Other people will be doing copycats scenarios and creating a scenario and pretending that it's the Fulani, it's the Fulani. Meanwhile, you're allowing them to get away with it. Criminality knows no tribe, knows no religion, and he doesn't know any sex or whatever. When they're coming to kidnap you, they're not interested in your tribe or your sex or your religion. What they're interested in is how much ransom they can make from you, okay? And the people engaging in kidnapping are of all tribes. And we must start telling, when we agree to that philosophy, then we might find a solution to it. But if we now continue with this narrative, there's one set of people that are doing it, then we're not telling ourselves the truth.
I did not say, I said, I gave the example of what the meeting they had. I gave the example of what the meeting the Fulani
I'm just saying, the narrative that you guys have been saying has focused specifically on Fulanis. Okay. You focus specifically. Okay, go on.
What I said is that the meeting they had in Zamfara and what they said, and I said the kidnapping in Nigeria, if the government wants it to stop, it will stop. We'll have every tribe get involved in this kidnapping. And why is it so? Because of hardship, so people are looking for easy way to make money. And people feel that
no justification.
Kidnapping sector is very lucrative in Nigeria today, and that's why a lot of regions are getting into it.
BD, you're suffering. BD, you're suffering. Are you going to go into kidnapping?
Okay. Femi, let me help you. Raji, you need to unmute. I see you want to talk. Raji, you need to unmute. But before Raji talks, let me just add this. Femi, but logically, listen to this, Femi. Let's be logical now. How come the government controls Nigeria? I mean, the sovereign, the territory of Nigeria is under the government's hand. And some people will walk out, catch people, they will pay them money, they will come back, they will make call, and this whole thing they are using is under the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I mean, the telephone is for government. The telephone lines and all these things, government can control it and check who's calling, who's making those money exchange in the bank.
Yeah, massive right. Just quickly, because look, in the UK now, there's a chap, okay? He attacked a woman with corrosive with acid or whatever, beat her up. It's all on CCTV. He's still on the run over how many days? It's not, the police, with all the sophistication that they have in UK, they haven't caught him yet. So, like I said, the idea that in Nigeria, where there's no sophistication, they're going to perform magic, we're deceiving ourselves.
No, Femi, that's the example you gave in UK is one. Massive, please excuse me. The example you gave in UK is 1 out of 100. But if it's in Nigeria, if they when a boy made a tweet against Aisha Buhari, within a day, within 42 hours, they arrested that guy. Before you know it, he was sentenced and sent to Krikri. We make a statement, they will arrest you. Nigerian government don't want to stop this. I don't know.
Raji, go ahead.
Yes, I want to back up Ms. Bidi's assertion. No, NCC can locate any phone call within a kilometer, within the 100 meters of the next call tower. And these people are not using Turaya or anything. They are using they are riding on MTN and local GSM platform, so they can be easily identified and pinpointed, and their location can be determined within 30 minutes of the call, and then the phone from which that call was made can be followed, even when they change the SIM, because the phone has an IMEI number that is traceable. So any call you make, no matter where, as long as it's through the GSM system, can be traced.
Raji,
let's
leave
this topic,
let me allow you to, just also add to this, that the kidnappers now are using the bank and bank accounts to receive their funds.
Exactly.
So can you please expound on this a little bit, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, and yet there is no tracing, no arrest, nothing. Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
Okay.
Wherever there's a will, there will always be a way. And like Abacha said in those days, if banditry continues for more than 24 hours, then the government is involved.
Femi, are you hearing from Raji? Raji is in.
That's fake. That's a fake comment from a dictator. He can say whatever he likes. He controlled the country at that time, so he can do whatever he can do and undo anything he wants. We were in a dictatorship at that time.
Raji, you know what? I think we're going to give you a slot soon, George and I, so we can talk more on the security behind this banditry and these amenities they use and how they get away. We were going to elaborate more on this because you just put it out, Raji. Thank you. Femi, we're going to come with this again.
Don't worry. Can I say one thing?
No, it's okay. Please, let's go on to
just one thing. I'll be fast. Just one thing.
We already 1 hour. We already finished.
We got 1 hour is almost done. You love your security, man.
Yes. I want us to talk on the inflation. I want us to talk on the meeting that was held yesterday. The Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, the finance minister, and a lot of personalities in the financial sector gathered yesterday, and they brought up some statements, a lot of it. Now, let me start by saying this, gentlemen. The group of guys in the financial sector are the guys that are termed whiz kids of Lagos. They claim to know a lot about economics, how to double up around economical growth. But things are worsening. But they say, well, this looks like it's going to get better. Gentlemen, let's just talk about this before we go. George, what do you say? I mean,
just a priority, let's just do a conclusive type of analysis of the whole thing. The point is this: there are so many solutions that could be applied, but to achieve success and prioritize boosting exports to strengthen the naira, we must ensure there is stability in consumer prices and foreign exchange market to instill confidence in people. People do not have confidence in what they are doing. People are just afraid to even invest their money today. So the point is this: we can pontificate all we want to, we can bring all the larger brains, but there are some fundamental things that we need to do in order to help ourselves when it comes to the economy. If we are bandaging the whole thing, it's not going to work. Let's go to the root cause and take care of some of these fundamental things, take care of the poor, find a way to deal with the poor people that are dying daily. We got to do that. So with some of these fundamental things, if we do not take care of them, we'll be talking on top. It's just like plastering a wound and saying that, oh, the wound is healed. No, it's plaster on it. So we need to really, really get down to the nitty-gritty. I know time is of the essence, but I am hoping and trusting that the same way that Tinubu took over Lagos and was able to invest locally in that place to bring about the toll gates and everything else that is bringing money to him, let him be able, because I know that this man is capable. If given the opportunity and the time,
all right.
I know that he can do it.
Femi, go ahead. Femi, you were tweeting on some of those reforms they're trying to bring, but the inflation rate has continued to soar, Nigerian inflation rate, and the cost of living has ballooned, man.
Yeah, those are inevitable consequences of reforms. These are necessary reforms that are long overdue, and they're going to continue to incur pains. I'm not one of those who are saying to Nigerians that, oh, in a short while all the pains will be over. I actually think there's going to be more pain, and it's inevitable that the pain will continue until, of course, Nigerians start to understand that they have to produce more locally and rely less on imports. The government have announced that there's nothing like food scarcity, and that they're going to release the grains from the food reserves, the grain reserves. My only concern is with the corruption in Nigeria. When they get to those grain reserves, will there be grains there? And what will be the state of those grains? They may not be even fit for human consumption. Let's wait and see whether they've sold them out already. You know, Niger. You know, it is Niger. So this is the problem of Nigeria. No matter how good you are, whatever you want to do, the evil servants masquerading as civil servants will always bastardize and mess up whatever good intentions you have. And implementation is always our problem. You understand? Nigerians do not want to suffer, but unfortunately, we've had it. I mean, they've had a lot of things that of benefit, the subsidies and whatever, for decades now. And now we have to face reality. And unfortunately, it's going to be that way for a while.
Femi, have we not suffered enough? Femi, these people have been suffering since the beginning of Nigeria.
You can't magic dollars now. You can't magic dollars.
The funny thing.
Raji, you were shaking your head. Raji, you were shaking your head. Go ahead.
It protects the government, but also
it's nothing to do with the government. Listen, it's nothing to do with my APC government. I'm telling you as it is. You can't magic dollars. You can't magic dollars.
Let's hear Raji. Raji has something to say. Raji, go ahead.
Go ahead, Raji.
As far back as Babangida days, have we been hearing that, oh, things have to get worse before they get better? And we are still on the same mantra. Now, my major worry is that, you see, after every government, Nigerians goes, they now remember good old days. After Buhari's government, we remember good old days of Abacha. I shake to imagine what good old days we'll be looking at when we have to look up to Buhari's days as good old days. With the things we are facing with Tinubu's
policies,
so-called
subsidy.
Please, George, let me tell you that Tinubu did not do any magic in Lagos. Tinubu's process has always been based on taxation, and you can't tax poor people. You can't tax people who are barely able to stand on their feet. And let's forget about this subsidy thing that they keep on mentioning. There's no country where there's not some sort of subsidy for one thing or the other. There's no country. What subsidy are we enjoying in Nigeria? We are not enjoying any subsidy. Even the subsidy that they said they had on petroleum products. Most of it was being taken by people who are in high places who could just take in a paper and collect money as subsidy. because the NNPC had mentioned that they have stopped paying subsidy as far back as 2016.
That's
The
not true. This
General
is
of
that's not this is not
hold on,
true.
please. Hold on, please. And please, Mr. Okay, please do not. When you are talking, nobody bumps in. But please, the Controller General of Customs had mentioned that he's surprised about the volume of subsidy being paid on imported petroleum products, because even the Atlas Cove does not have the capacity to take in the amount of finished products on which we are paying so much trillions in subsidy. One of the beneficiaries of subsidy payment came on TV to mention that he had gone to complain to Buhari that they are making too much money on subsidy. What are they paying subsidy on? That anybody could take a paper to whoever is paying subsidy and collect money for subsidy. There are cases in court today of people who took in paper, who took in importation papers and went to claim subsidy. The central bank government had done a forensic audit on the dollar.
Yeah.
On dollar
Payback. Yes.
Yes.
2
And
point
found out that
2 point something
2
billion.
something billion. That same forensic audit should be done on those who on the subsidy payment that they started collecting from 2016 until the end of Buhari's government.
Wow.
NNPC said they were not paying. They stopped paying subsidy as far back as 2016.
Yeah.
Let us look at
Okay.
Can I just answer that point?
Yes,
Quickly.
1 minute. Quickly.
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't so. Let's get it right. Before 2016, they were giving people paper, like you said, and giving them physical subsidy. What the Buhari government did is they changed the policy, and NNPC was the sole importer, so it was selling its oil and then buying it back at a higher rate. So there was no physical subsidy like that, but it was then selling that. Let me finish now. Let me finish.
Okay.
It was now.
Gentlemen, listen. I see it's getting very tense now.
Okay.
What
It
we'll
was
do
then.
Femi,
We can have it so specifically about it.
Let's have a few minutes.
Massive Mike.
Let's have a few minutes.
It's Massive
I'm
Mike.
just giving the signal to the network. Let's do
Massive
a few
Mike.
minutes more. 5 more minutes and we'll be through. So
Massive
Femi.
Mike. Massive Mike.
Right, okay.
You see what Raji said? You know, like I keep telling it here, this government run on secrecy a lot. Buhari made this in. There was an interview Buhari granted about this subsidy. I think that was 2018, and he said that he don't know. You know how he talks, like you don't know what people are talking about. It's been long Nigerian government stopped subsidy, but we run a government of propaganda and secrecy, that they will do things and they wouldn't want anybody to know what they are doing. Nigerians are suffering, and it's so unfortunate that people who don't live in Nigeria, they make case for people who live in Nigeria who don't understand what Nigerians are going through. Do you understand? The other time we are talking about state governments. Go to Oyo State. Oyo State have the capacity, Makinde to produce their own lights, but they can't do it because there is restriction from federal government.
That's what I was trying to say. Exactly.
Do you understand? There are restrictions
The law has been changed.
No, but he said he still held.
I'm coming.
Capacity of 10 megawatts.
Like Minister of Finance and coordinating and CBN were in rep to make case of how the cost of living. You know, the problem is that they believe that the cost of living in Nigeria is because of food. There are food stock. Go to the market, you see food, but people can't afford it. That's the problem. There are food in Nigeria, but people can't afford it. I can't go to the market and steal what I can't pay for. Do you understand? The problem is on.
Okay.
You know something. The governor actually announced the impending signing of a bill into law to establish the Electricity Regulatory Commission in your state. They are waiting. It's not been signed yet. But it's something that they are working on. So
and He's waiting for
Yeah.
the federal also to give
No,
him.
no, it's not. It's not. He's not waiting for the federal. He's not waiting for the
That's
federal.
what he said. That's what he said. He said
That's
the
what he
House.
said.
Okay, when it's my turn, I'll explain. When it's my turn, I'll say, carry on, George. Carry on, George.
Go ahead.
Femi,
No,
you
no.
not
What I'm
again.
what I'm saying. Okay.
Carry on, George.
We
When you
cannot.
give me time, I will say my own.
Okay. No, let me just finish up right now. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is that he said that he is waiting, and that the papers are with the House, and once they are able to approve it, then he can move forward. But he did announce that there were some restrictions on the states being able to give their people light. That's what he said. So now,
But
okay, go
Femi,
ahead.
what I want
Femi.
to talk about, what I want us to talk about, Femi, what I want you to talk about is sports. Let's keep this for next time.
You
Because
guys don't want
today,
me to answer the critical questions.
in
Don't
few
worry.
hours time,
Don't worry.
there will be something very hot, Femi. And Nigeria
Okay.
will find out viewers.
So AFCON, yeah. Nigeria will be playing. The Super Eagles will be playing Bafana, and we know that the Nigerian embassy or our foreign affairs gave a warning to Nigerians in South Africa to not celebrate too much if we win. I think that was premature. We shouldn't be assuming that we're going to win, although we all want Nigeria to win. I think it's going to be a tough match between South Africa and Bafana. I think Super Eagles have their number. I think we should step on them properly and win this match so that we can go to the final. I'm hopeful and I'm positive that we are gonna beat the Bafana.
Thank you very much, Femi. Gentlemen, let's go. George.
Femo, we're calling the end from the beginning, so that's okay. We are happy for that. We are calling the end from the beginning. So we believe that we will win, like you said.
Yeah.
Nigerians
always united when it's football. That's the only thing that unites us now.
And we are united here. Viewers, listen, let me tell you guys, the viewership is high. A lot of people are listening to you, and I think they are getting some real good insights. Gentlemen, we have to go. We added 10 minutes to the time. We'll talk it over with the network. But before we go, let's have this in mind. Some ladies in Rivers, Port Harcourt, are having a protest. The protest is still continuing now. They said no light. Their food is their food they put in free is getting spoiled, and even it's affecting their marital
sex life.
George, this is what happened. So guys, we're coming back on Friday. Let's talk more. George, I know you're surprised to hear this, but that's what's happening.
Yeah, but I think they need to consult with Tinubu now, because he went to France. Maybe he brought some Viagra or yellow and blue pill. Let him give it to the husbands to help.
They said, I hope you guys know that we're supposed to be doing our duties 21 days every month. You know that.
Okay. Yeah, your duties. What
in order to avoid prostate cancer.
All right, gentlemen. Listen,
Femi is giving you a message.
Also, Nigeria has been ranked as the highest place where female mutilation is going on. These topics are going to come to us. Femi,
it's a bad thing.
We need to talk about that. It's very important.
Very, very, very important.
All of these things. Till we come your way. Raji, thank you for coming by. Thank you for having this inaugural meeting broadcast.
Thank you, Raji.
From Lagos, Sir George that wakes up 3:00 a.m. to be with us. Thank you. And Femi that gives us all the insight. The APC insight also. Thank you. All right, gentlemen.
We have to have a balanced show. We have to have a balanced show.
Yes. Femo. You bring balance. Femo.
All right,
I love your balance.
We come again on Friday.
Better Niger.
That's us.